For the second week in a row, the Simpit Indycar series went to an oval track. This time, the shortest track on the schedule for 120 laps at Iowa Speedway. This little oval comes in at 0.88 miles, and the drivers will be turning laps in the dizzyingly fast times of 16 seconds per lap. The race would be run under the lights on a balmy, warm evening. The top qualifier for the event was Michael B. Thompson, who ran a lap time of 16.278, which ended up faster than me on the outside of the pole by 0.3 of a second. Starting in third was Karsten Berdowie, and John Hill started fourth. Rounding out the top five was Terry Allen. As the pace car pulled off, Thompson kept the field at speed until he dropped the hammer and the race was underway. The field got sorted out pretty nicely going into turn one, and everything was looking pretty good. That is, with exception of Stefan Schump, who touched the apron and spun it off turn two. But the field continued on, no yellow flag. On lap 13 was when the leader, still Thompson, would come up on and have to start dealing with traffic. He clears Verlis Velkins, putting him a lap down. On lap 21, Terry Allen was fighting it out with a group of cars. While running the high line, he got loose and came down into David Hanger. Both cars hit the wall hard, and both drivers' nights were over on the spot. This would bring out the caution, and Thompson chose to stay out on his tires. I also stayed out, and so did Karsten Berdowie, but John Hill in fourth would go in, and so would some others. The restart came on lap 27, with Thompson, who had led every lap so far, still in front. He had a cushion of 2 lap-down cars now between him and me. I had Berdowie in my mirrors, and TJ Masick restarted in fourth, with Douglas South in fifth. When the pace car dropped down to pit lane, Thompson hit the gas, and he caught the field sleeping slightly. I was held up by the 2 lap cars, but by the end of the 27th lap, I had cleared them both, still in second, but now a full second back of Thompson. On lap 30, Schump would again get into the action. This time, as Masick is passing him low, he gets loose and came down into him. Masick got by, but likely took on some damage. Schump spins, but again, no caution. This does allow Scott Newton to pass him wide and take over the 4th spot. Newton had started the race in 18th spot, moving him up 14 positions in only 31 laps, and now on the heels of Berdowie in 3rd. Meanwhile, Thompson had built up a good-sized lead over me, and it was about the same distance back to the battle of Berdowie and Newton. Masick still held on to the 5th spot. On lap 38, John Hill was running in 7th and got a run on Douglas South. South held him off, and Hill picked up a little aero push and slid up the track. This allowed Scott Smith to take over the 7th place from Hill, and now in pursuit of Douglas South ahead. South did a fine job of holding him off for a while, but then on lap 43, Smith got a good run and passed him for 6th place. They had now caught up to the battle between Berdowie and Masick running 4th and 5th. And as he came to the line to begin the 45th lap of the race, Thompson was all alone, with me a couple of seconds back of him, and then a couple seconds back of me was Newton running in 3rd. On lap 47, TJ Masick got held up slightly in a battle with Berdowie. This allowed Smith to get a run on the side, and they battle through turn 1. Masick holds Smith down low, but Smith comes up slightly, and they touch. This sends Masick into the wall, and Andrew Dixon has nowhere to go but right into him. Smith gets through okay, and John Hill goes under the mess to pick up a couple of positions. This brought out a caution at the tail end of lap 48. We would see nearly the entire grid come to pit lane. The battle off pit lane was won by Thompson, followed by me, and then Berdowie, followed by Newton and Hill. However, Jason Brennan skipped pit lane and was now the 2nd leader of the race. And he would end up restarting the race on lap 53 on the point, wearing tires with 30 laps on them, having pitted on lap 22. However, everyone behind him was now on fresh tires. He did get a good jump on the start and stretched out a comfortable lead over Thompson, who did not get a good start. This allowed me to get a good run on him on the outside and fight him for 2nd position. I held the high line, carried plenty of speed, and cleared him down the backstretch. A few laps later, Thompson gets a good run off of turn 4, drafts me for a little bit, and then passes me going into turn 1. and simultaneously behind us, his teammate Newton pulled the same maneuver on Berdowie, shuffling up into the top 5. On lap 59, John Hill passes Berdowie for 5th position. Then on lap 63, while still leading, Brennan came up on the lap-down car of Scott Smith. Smith gave him some room, but there was some sort of net code contact, and that sent Scott into the wall and brought out our 3rd caution of the race. And that would end Brennan's gamble, as he then went to pit lane nearly all alone. Thompson re-inherited the lead for the restart that came on lap 69, with me back in 2nd, Newton in 3rd, Hill in 4th, and now Vitz Solomon in 5th place. Thompson got another good jump, and the race was back under green again. On lap 73, Newton passed me for 2nd place, putting him behind his teammate in the lead. On lap 80, Brennan rises from the dead and closed up on Berdowie, fighting Solomon for 5th place. Berdowie comes up into Solomon, sending him into the wall, and Brennan slips underneath into 5th place, but no caution flag was thrown. However, Vitz's car was done for the day. With 30 laps left in the race, Michael Thompson was out to a sizable lead. Newton had clearly taken command of 2nd over me, and John Hill ran in 4th place, with Jason Brennan closing in on him, running in 5th. On lap 94, while running 7th, Karsten Berdowie came in too low into turn 1. He touched the apron, and it started to send his car around. He almost saved it, but at the last moment it snapped loose and he slammed into the outer wall, ending his day and bringing out another caution. As Thompson brought us to the entrance of pit lane, it was decision time for the drivers. A restart would occur with about 20 to go, track position versus new tires. When Thompson and Newton both stayed out, I decided to do the same. However, I immediately regretted that choice. Hill, Brennan, and others chose to go in. The battle off pit lane was won by Brennan, and he would be starting right behind me with fresh tires in 4th place. The restart came on lap 101 with 20 laps to go. Thompson on the point with his teammate in 2nd. The pace car pulled in, and Thompson got things going once again with a good start, and we are underway for the shootout to the finish. As I looked for a way around Newton, Brennan got a run on me and easily took over 3rd. I now had a mirror full of John Hill running in 5th. And for me, my worn out tires weren't cutting it, and I found myself going backwards from there as John Hill passed me down low, sending me back to 5th. 10 to go, and Thompson still led the way with Newton staying with him in 2nd. There was a slight gap back to Brennan in 3rd, with John Hill right behind him. 7 to go, and I'm still struggling with my car as Douglas South moves up into 5th place with a pass on me going into 1. And that's how things would finish up, with Michael Thompson coming to the line for the win after leading almost all race long. His teammate Scott Newton finishing in 2nd after starting in dead last place. Jason Brennan would also move up a ton of spots after starting in 13th, but finishing in 3rd, followed by John Hill in 4th place. Rounding out the top 5 was Douglas South. After 5 races, and despite missing 2 of them, Nigel Marneef still leads the points with 416. John Hill has closed in quite a bit in 2nd place with 363 points, and Ricardo Scheivon is in 3rd with 356. In 4th place overall is Karsten Berdowie with 328, and I now sit in 5th place with 325 points. The series heads back to the road side of things at the New Hampshire Roval, Variation A, for 38 laps of racing. If you would like more information on the series and to see the point standings, please head over to thesimpit.com and look for the IndyCar series. We will see you next week, and congratulations to Michael B. Thompson on his win at Iowa.